Good evening. How are we, everyone? Welcome to the Round 5 fan cams. We are back to therapy, I guess. Back to therapy. Blues go down by 28 points. Bit of a numb evening, if I can say the least. One of those performances. Unfortunately, it was the build-up to the disappointment that I and a lot of us have just become accustomed to, and it is what it is. It is what it is. As they say in Hebrew, en malasot. What can you do? Welcome to the fan cams. If you have never been to the fan cams, never seen a fan cam session, welcome. Basically, this is your talkback session for the game. We're going to get around each other. Had a lot of conversations tonight at the function, and we were there at halftime, and it's one of those situations where, you know what, the players won't do it for us, the club won't do it for us, but at least we have each other. So little grim, sprinkles of whatever, but ultimately disappointing. We're a team that wants to play finals and contend for finals, and to show up with what we showed up with tonight was very hard for the supporters to watch. But anyway, enough of me. I'm going to put a link in the comments. Basically, hit the link. You'll join a waiting room. The waiting room holds 12 people, and I will try and get through as many as possible. Just keep in mind, nothing personal. We all are hurting a lot, but we don't need to throw personal attacks at players. By all fucking means, that performance needs to be criticised. But let's just be accountable for the words that we use, which I have no doubt that we will, because we're a good bunch here at the Blue Abroad community. And so, without further ado, I'm going to get one of the OGs on first up. So, Pommy, welcome. Let's do this.
Hey, up, how are we doing?
How are you, mate?
Oh, I mean, I kind of feel like resigned, if I'm honest. I spoke, Rafi will attest to this. If you're in there, Rafi, I love you, bro. I'm sorry I've ruined your evening by predicting. I said to him, I've done the matchups pre-game, and I said that I've got a feeling that this is going to be 40 plus to Port. And he was trying to talk me out, and I said, I just look at the matchups, and I had a feeling. And as soon as I watched the game, them feelings were there, man. You just saw it. And it's right from the selection of Tom Williamson, who was okay in a VFL game, and he comes straight back in, to our ball use. And you see it when you look at the heat map of Paddy Dow, like in round 4. And we talked about this on Monday, you and me did, that he was out on the wing, and I was like, why? You look at his average position, it's halfway from the boundary to the centre. You look today, Matt Kennedy played 68% on the wing. Same thing. And it takes away our width, which then makes us congested in the middle. People keep going on about Carlton's skills, and I think that's an injustice, because they can all kick. They can all hit targets. They can all do that. Like, you've got to remember that these are professional footballers. They've reached a standard. What goes wrong with our team is in the 5 minutes where Port switched off, we hit targets. When the pressure's there, they panic. I counted 7 times in the first quarter that they kicked an outlet ball down the wing, and the winger hadn't even turned his back to the ball. It's pressure, it's panic, it's lack of preparation. And I keep saying it every week when we lose. I keep saying stuff, and I don't think the fan base get it. They don't get it enough. This isn't acceptable for a club of this level. It's time to start standing. You've just said it there. Don't have personal attacks and stuff. We're so scared of being angry. But there comes a point that fans have got to fucking get angry. I've seen comments today, 40,000 at the G, where are the blue baggers? In England, it is common to play. Fans don't come out. That's our way of saying, we don't believe in you. Prove to us you deserve our support. We hurt your financial pocket. I don't blame anyone who didn't go and see that today. I don't, because it was inevitable it would happen. And the next 2 games, we're going to see it. We're going to get battered by Brisbane. We're going to beat Essendon. And then we'll probably be really noble in defeat to the Doggies, because they're too good. And it'll be back to square one. Teague saying, if we play our best, we might aim to compete. Says it all, compete. 6 years in a rebuild, we should be nowhere near competing. Nowhere near. We should be winning. And I don't blame the players because, to be honest, I think David Teague is about as motivating as a wet sock. And I don't blame it. And you've got to look at that. And it's time we realise, like, is this what you want with your lives, ladies and gentlemen? Is this what you want from our team? They're better than what they did. Why are we playing 5 inside fucking midfielders every week? We have wingmen in our list. Like, is that Sauce's fault? Is that the selection committee? It's not rocket science, this game. AFL is so simple. They made a goalpost, so if you miss, you feel included. It's the most included game in the world. It's a simple sport. And we can't do the basics because tactically we're inept. Decision-making, we're inept. Structurally, we're inept. And if I see an inside-on baller on the wing one more time, I mean, the only change he made today was Tom Williamson at full forward, and then he moved McGovern down back. Is Teague winding me up tonight? Because I ain't laughing anymore, David. I hope you are.
Your comment about you don't blame the fans, I don't either. Like, I mean, I'm generally positive. I drink the Kool-Aid. I love support, all of that. But I honestly do not blame the fans that jump off and who have that, that put the walls up and they say, nah, enough is enough. I'm not getting involved until they show me something. I don't blame them. I mean, I might not agree with them, but I don't blame them, you know?
I'm honestly the world's worst because, you know, we win a game and, you know, I'm flopping it out, jumping around, saying freaking we're the next premiers, Mickey Mouse FC. That's who I am as a person. I get excited because I want to be excited because I'm sick of feeling like this every 2 weeks. But let's be honest. Structurally, tactically, motivation-wise, they're not motivated, them boys, because, you know, the most damning thing I heard tonight was Gary at 3/4 time when SPS has chased Robbie Gray about as hard as I chase my kid when he's about to play a prank on my wife because I want to see the result. So I do that half-assed effort. And Gary turns round online there and says, oh, it's a little bit too hard for SPS. They're a young side, though, but it's got too hard for them. It was 5 minutes in the third and there was 20 points in it. How is it too hard for you? You're on 6 figures, man. Some people didn't turn up today who spoke to me, and they actually mentioned a comment they saw on Facebook that some muppet in our fan base damnated anyone who didn't turn up to the game today and said, if you're in Melbourne and you're not there, you're not a fan and you should give your membership up. And he was upset by that and he PM'd me. And like I said to him, right, that's heartbreaking that you feel like that. But that performance will probably make people stay at home. It's about time we stuck together and the club needs to be called into account because that is unacceptable. That is unacceptable. Port aren't that good. Aren't that good, full stop. And we were very lucky that that's not 50, 60 points. We're so far away, tactically and strategy-wise and structurally, that it's a piss take.
Hard to disagree. There's so many elements to tonight. At the sake of not wanting to get into one person and whose fault it is, the skill level tonight, Pom, from our senior players, and it actually got me thinking. I understand some people will ask questions of Teague and the coach's box, and some of those opinions are obviously fair enough. But I had a moment probably halfway through the second quarter where I said, imagine coaching these blokes and they're kicking the way they are. Imagine coaching them and telling them whatever the game plan is and whatever instructions that you have, and then watching them execute the skills the way that they did tonight under pressure. We're out here doing
you practice the way you play. I always say that. From playing sport, you find ways to bring pressure into it. I've seen these boys train, and I can tell you, and you've gone to training, these guys can hit targets all day long, right? The difference is when there's a bit of pressure on, when there's the money on, when there's that 4 points, changes who you are. You learn a lot about what kind of cojones you're packing in your shorts when some guy's breathing down your neck, who's not your mate, who's out there to hurt you. And I've seen Carlton's training, I've seen Richmond's training, and it is 2 different entities. The intensity of a Richmond training, you see they're out to hurt each other. There's this kind of feeling that I'm playing for my job and we're not mates. I want to impress my coach. I'm going to tackle Koch into the ground. I'm not going to be his friend. I want his gig. And I think there's a problem. But I think if you ask who do you throw the blame at, it starts with us as fans. We're the standard. We all got David Teague's job. We can take it away, right? The club made money in COVID. We can take that away. We can do that. They can't. Mark Lagudichet, Brad Lloyd, Kane Liddell, they're Mickey Mouse. We are the club. It starts with us first, our levels of expectation. Then we're looking at the coaching. Like structurally, and I say it every week, David Teague never sets us up structurally to beat them. If David Teague watched the review we did on Monday, watched the Pommy on Oz video where I listed in clear, concise, little PowerPoint presentation of their strengths and our strengths, he would have known that that team presented a 40-point loss, like I said this afternoon to people. It was a 40-point loss. And we got lucky that Port Adelaide went back to Port halfway through the fourth, and we kicked a few goals. Bully for us. But there is the problem. If you can't get the basics right, positionally, we are horrendous, and we're positionally horrendous because these players don't play their native positions. They're just being made up on the fly. I don't think Teague has any tactical nous. And it's a great story. It's a beautiful story. He used to play for Carlton. I've heard the mantra, fuck that. It's time for a new Carlton. I'm sick of being average. And this club doesn't stand for average. This club stands for superiority. We're arrogant. We're hungry. We're a tiger. And at the moment, we're a Siamese cat, buddy.
Yeah. I feel you, Pom. I feel you, Pom. It's just going to be one of those nights, brother.
At least I'm not retiring.
I want to. Don't retire tonight, thanks. This is not the night to retire. But no, I think you summarised it very, very well. Emotional, but not over the top. As always, mate. You know your stuff, and we appreciate you coming on.
To everyone out there, it will get better. It will. It might not get better soon. It might be like Rangers 10 years from now. But stick together. We'll get through this somehow.
Good on you, brother. Love ya.
God bless.
See you, mate. Where are we? Stand by. Josh.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, I've been better, as usual.
Yeah, mate. Far out. I don't know, Pommy summed that up really well, I thought. And just with like what he mentioned about Teague, like me and my dad, we watch because we're pretty into it ourselves, but the whole message and all that. I remember when Luke Parks got selected, it was all about competing. We don't want to compete anymore. We want to see progress. This is a 6-year rebuild. It's way too long. Some of our players are where they shouldn't be. It's like Melbourne. Like they may have made the prelim a few years ago, but like they were crap for 2 years and they've rebuilt quickly. Why can't we do that? I just don't understand.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. It just seems, the language seems to be about competing as opposed to competing just being, that's your job to compete. You know, it's like we're striving to compete as opposed to the language being around winning, which is very interesting.
Yeah, I think that's really important. Like, I think the most angry I've ever seen T get was at that Brisbane game last year. I haven't seen much since. We really need him to motivate the boys because that first quarter I thought it was good. And then after that, it just went downhill. We need to motivate them. There's got to be a reason for them to play. And as a supporter base, we all have high expectations, like 6-year rebuild. We want to see us be successful, but are we really there? Like tonight was a bit of a reality check, I feel, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. There's a phrase, you get what you deserve. Now the fans don't deserve this, but the results are deserved based on how we play, I think.
Exactly right. That's spot on. And I bought a membership this week. Me and my brother, my whole family, we love Carlton. We absolutely love them. When I was able to get my ticket for the Richmond game, I was like all over it, talking to my mates. Oh, I'm gonna try and get the ticket. You know, before I was a member, I got the ticket. I was so excited. I sat there on my own, screamed my heart out like a bloody idiot. That's how much I love this club. But it's just, I want to I don't want to see any more middle of the road stuff. I want us to be successful, and I'm just sick of it. I'm so sick of it. I'm trying to stay as calm as I possibly can.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but yeah.
Well, listen, we'll be okay. We'll lose a couple more. We'll build up to the next challenge against the final side, and then we'll see what happens then. It's just you just hope. You just hope. I felt a lot of the hope lost tonight from the fans personally, just from conversations I had, which is very dangerous to say. But anyway, it is what it is. But, Josh, you best star, mate.
Thank you. Thanks, Terry. It was good to be on the show tonight.
Thanks for coming on, mate. Have a great one.
No worries. Take care.
See you, mate. Ulgur, thanks very much for the $15 donation on YouTube. I really appreciate it. Let's move on. Let's get Rocco. Very keen to hear this one. Rocco.
Mate, this is, man, I don't know what to say, man. We all went to the game and we got sucked in again. That's the problem. We get sucked in by this club, man. It's bad, mate, how we get sucked in. And I think Pom's right. Like, it's our fault, you know, like we allow this shit to happen, mate. None of us should turn up next week. We should have no one turn up because really, mate, they don't care. You can see they don't care. Like,
it's
we
hard,
care
and they just stop.
How bad was that? Like, seriously, I've watched some footy in my life. That could be one of the worst games I've ever seen in my life. Like, another thing, it's going to be like, what did we lose by? 29, 28, whatever points it was? And people are going to praise that. That should have been like a 15-goal loss. What I was watching, if I didn't see the score, I would have said, we're down by 100 here. It was disgraceful. And, you know, all right, we won't talk about individual players, but there are some $800,000 players there. Really? I don't have to mention who these players are. They're a disgrace, man. Are you serious? Did you see the one where Harry was leading into the bloody gap there and McGovern was running into the gap and just like, it's like, as soon as I saw that, I said, they're doing it again. They're running into each other again. And then our captain, when he missed that goal, it kind of set the whole tone. Didn't it set the tone?
When he lined up for that goal, I was with my housemate sitting next to each other, and I said, if he misses this, we're going to lose. You just get the feeling because he can motivate the group. Rocco, what are we dealing with, mate? A lot of criticism will come to Murphy and to Betts and to McGovern. A lot of criticism will come to that. Yep. I don't understand why the criticism doesn't start from the fucking captain, mate.
It has to. It has to start from the captain because these blokes have to lead. Because if they're not leading, right, how can anyone follow? If he misses that goal from 20 metres, right, how can the rest follow? And it was just like a disease after that. We couldn't kick a goal anymore. And I blame that miss. I blame him for fucking not signing. I still blame that. That shows no leadership to me. And, yeah, he got the ball. If you have a look, I think he got 25-odd possessions, right? They mean shit because half the time when he tries to run through those fucking packs, right, be a fucking leader and pass on the ball for crying out loud, man. Don't try to take on everything. A leader doesn't do that. A leader delegates bloody roles to everybody. And he doesn't do that, man. He tries to take on everything himself, mate. Like, they don't care, man. And it all starts with each individual fucking player, mate. Why haven't they got no pride in themselves? What are they doing? Like, did you see how – did they just turn up their toes? What is it? Did they just, like, give up? Did you see some of those efforts? Seriously, I put more effort trying to get a pie tonight. I put more effort. I was bumping people trying to get this pie so I could get back at halftime, and then I had to watch this shit. I'm telling you, my son said it to me. He goes, Dad, they don't care. This is from a young kid. He's going, they don't care. And I said, I know. They don't care, mate. Like, it's ridiculous, man. I don't understand how bad we are. We're bad. We're just like a step above Gold Coast, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe North.
Yeah, there just seemed to be like an acceptance. Once it got to a certain point where it was a little too hard and we knew that we were getting outclassed. It was kind of like, oh, well, we're not good enough.
Again.
We're
We're
not
doing
good
it
enough.
again. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Yep,
like
and they're not stepping up. No one's stepping up. You know, remember last year, get the ball? There was a couple of those times tonight. Look, get in, get the ball. How can Port Adelaide get so many of those contested balls? Did you see that? Like a lot of times we were first and they would come out with the ball. They wanted it. They ran hard. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. This is, oh, man, I'm lost now. I'm lost, man. I'm over the, like the rage. I just sat there. Half the game I missed because I sat like that. So how can I even watch half the game, Like it's I don't know, man. And you're right. And it starts from the top two, not only from the captain, man, the coach. I'm telling you that all of them have to take responsibility. I haven't heard the press conference. It's probably come out, but I guarantee he's gonna like gloss this over. It can't be, man. It can't be. It can't be glossed over this. The players can't keep coming out giving this rubbish that they gave. They gave rubbish. And this isn't from skill. The reason their skills are so bad is because they don't care, right? And they don't put in that 100%, man. I reckon Cottrell did all right today. Do you see the bloke? He goes in hard, man. Like, but I don't know. There was a couple. I was trying to work out who to give votes to. I don't even know. Like maybe Walsh. I don't know. Maybe Walsh did all right. I don't know.
Can we talk for a moment about, you were at the game. Did you see Hitanet and Lysette have a wrestle for probably 90 seconds?
Yeah.
In what reality in this sport do your teammates not come and back you up when you're fucking in a headlock?
It was embarrassing. We said that. It was embarrassing.
What was that?
No, and this just shows, man, there's no unity there. Like, if that was me, like, if we were walking around and someone pushed you, man, I'll be jumping on these blokes, right? And these blokes, a team doesn't do. There was also that incident with Wiedering that copped it. Why didn't they attack him? Why didn't they attack? They just left him there. They left him there. And then Wiedering, the gun he is, got back up. I can't even believe they let him play on, man, because he looked concussed to me, but he still continued. You're right, man. And that shows something. That shows they're not united. And if they're not united, they're never going to win anything. They're never going to win anything. When they take off, do they like think that there's going to be someone backing them up? I don't think so. That's why, if you notice, like Williams tries to do a lot of stuff himself. You know why? He doesn't even trust the side anymore. I don't even think he trusts the side. That's why he tries to run through those packs. And I reckon Saab too. If you see Saab, man, he tries to run. He tries to do everything himself because he can't even trust his own teammates anymore. I don't know, man. This is bad, man. And I know that we'll get through it, and next week we'll be back and we'll be thinking. But I'm telling you, they got to do – and you're right, man, bringing in Williamson and that. What was that? Seriously, what did he do? How can he get back in? Like, what did they do? And Setterfield, I don't know why they dropped Setterfield for him. Like, seriously, I didn't see how that was going to fix anything.
Yeah.
Like, it was bad. And then you put Dow as the emergency. How does that work?
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. We're going to get to that tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. Let's go get to some other people, man. Like, anyway.
Thanks, Rocco. Love you, mate.
Enjoy. See you, mate.
See you, mate. Aiden 10 made a $8 donation on YouTube, and he says, Cripps played shocking. I nearly cried. What's this man? Absolutely shocking. Thank you very much, Aiden. Let's get Kareem on. Kareem?
Hey, Taz.
Hey, mate. What's happening?
Can you got me?
I got you, brother. What's happening?
Yeah, nothing, mate. I just take when it comes to a football club. Like, I think we're the only AFL team that misses so many kicks. If it's the way they're getting coached at training, or is it just the mindset? It gets to the point where you just can't take anymore when it comes to the kicking, the ball use.
It's hard to watch, mate. It's hard to watch professionals fail to do their job time after time, isn't it?
Yeah, like, we're for nothing. We got Zach Williams as a full-time midfielder. Like, why is he not playing midfield? Half the game I see him on the half forward. Like, first half playing forward, and then second half he gets in the midfield. Look what he does. Hits targets. He gets like space. He does something with the ball. But I don't know if he's not playing more midfield time when he's the only one that I saw tonight that actually hit target and was composed with the football.
Sorry, bro, you're cutting out a bit. Your internet connection's probably not strong. I think you mentioned about hitting target.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're just cutting out. I might move on just because you're very choppy. Sorry, bro.
So good.
All good, bro. Have a good one. Cheers. Sorry about that. What do we got? Joey. Hey, mate.
How are you, Tez? I didn't come on to say my piece, to be honest, because I'm gonna do a lot of that tomorrow with the boys when we record. But I actually came on. How are you, mate? How are you feeling? Because you sit through these fan cams for hours on end, and we all appreciate it. But mate, I feel like I need to know if you're okay, because that was fucking hard to watch, man. That was fucking hard to watch.
So I built it up because I was at the President's function tonight, part of the sponsorship. You pick a game to go to the President's Club function. I picked this game. It's my birthday in half an hour. I thought, good omens, good vibes, birthday, they're going to get up, whatever. I'm trying to make a case for why they're going to win. And then genuinely believe they're going to rise to the occasion, and how special is it going to be. Thank you very much, Dia Kitia, for the super chat. And story of my life, story of our lives. I think we're cursed. I think there's a curse that's passed down. Something happened in a past life. And unfortunately, our generation are going to have to sit through this. But I said this tonight. I was speaking to some supporters at the function. I was like, you know what? At least we've got each other, I guess. It was like a funeral, Joe. It's like a funeral every few weeks.
It was genuinely I was just sad. And Dan turned to me and he said, look at every cut. This was about halfway through the third quarter, that fucking debacle. He said, look at every Carlton supporter around us and tell me that everyone's not just sitting here sad.
Yeah, it was devastating, mate.
It's not even devastating at this point, man. It's I don't know. I was just laughing. I was genuinely laughing because it was like, how the fuck did we get sucked in again after that Collingwood game? How did we think this was going to be any different?
I think it's because we want it to happen and we try and manifest it to happen.
Yeah, as supporters we do, but we're not the ones out there on game day, unfortunately. And we don't have the talent that these guys, that this 22 does. We don't have their talent. We don't have their raw ability to break open a football game or play football, the majority of us. But fuck me. 32,000 went out there tonight to watch. And all right, fine. We got 80,000 members, only 32,000 showed up at a home game, our second or third home game of the year. After a full year in COVID, and we only had 32,000 rock up. If that doesn't say to the playing group that the fans have lost belief on a Saturday night, really a cracking night, by the way, weather-wise. If that doesn't say everything to that playing group that only 32,000 showed up at the G tonight, I don't know what kick in the pants they need, man, because, I don't know. From the get-go, the atmosphere was just nowhere. Everyone just sort of knew. I had a belief that we'd be able to do maybe something. Maybe this was the game. Every team that comes up, the Dogs, Richmond, every team has that game. I think I was saying to you, I think I was actually talking to you about it. Every team just has that game, and it felt like this could be the one. Not even close. Not even fucking close.
Nowhere near it, bro.
I can't believe it was only 30 points in the end, to be honest. I really can't. And I can't believe that they kicked so straight and it was only 30 points and we kicked so poorly. We won the inside 50 count again. This is shades of last year all over again. And the year prior and the year prior to that. We won the inside 50 count, but what the fuck did we do with it going forward, man? What did we do with it? Who are we hitting up? Tez, I'm going to say this, and it's going to bring back genuinely haunting memories for you. But how many times did we go to Michael Givens as our lead up forward tonight? It's true, man. It's fucking true. Literally 2 years ago to the round that we played Gold Coast.
Yeah.
When we were doing that shit with Bolton, man.
It's so hard. It's so hard being a Carlton supporter.
I don't have answers. Fuck answers. I don't even have questions anymore. I don't know what to ask. I actually don't know what to ask of this club, man. I don't know what to ask because I don't know where the problem actually lies. I don't know if it's the playing group. I don't know if it's the coaches. I don't know if it's just the culture of the fucking club. Like, are we just going to be bad forever? Is this just us now? Honestly, is this just us? We're just going to be mediocre, and it's like, you know what? We're not the Carlton of old. That Carlton of old's gone. It'll never be back, and we're just got to be happy with this. Might sneak a final here and there, might win a final here and there, but no flag in my lifetime, the way I'm looking at it. Like, it is just, we are from the board, and they've done a cracking job financially, but fuck me, it starts with them. I'm sorry, I don't care what anyone says. It starts with them, filters through the coaching staff, filters through to the players, and then it filters through to us as the fans. Right now, we're at our tether. Like, I don't know what layer of that is wrong. I don't know where to question it anymore. I don't know. I just don't know, man. I don't know. I can't see. You know, we fucking walk around with our chest out after we beat Fremantle and fucking Gold Coast. We beat Gold Coast by 2 goals and we came into this thinking we had a chance. We were never a chance. Like, we're kidding ourselves. We're kidding ourselves as a club. It's just, it's sad, but it's funny. Like, I'm starting to find it funny.
Yeah. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. Honestly, if you don't laugh, you will cry. It's tough. It is tough. Life's tough, mate. And
it's only football at the end of the day. This is what everyone's got to remember. It's only football. We all love this club. Everyone loves this club. We put so much energy and effort into this club. Just for all the fans watching, just don't let it get to you too much. Like, there'll be next week. We will win We'll win another game. We'll get to the pointy end of the season. We're going to go, fuck, we only need to win 3 games to make finals. It's possible. We'll get there. It's just a cycle. Try and find the funny side of it because I had to tonight. I actually had to. I couldn't sit there like I did in the Collingwood game tonight.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's spot on.
Mate, happy birthday for tomorrow.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
I
will. I'll speak to you tomorrow or tonight.
Yeah, well, that's right. If you want to, give me a call at 2 a.m. if you need to, man.
I'm all ears. I'm not sleeping tonight. See you, bro.
See you, brother.
Appreciate it. Who we got? Chris Beach. Hey, mate.
Why are we not surprised about tonight? Let me ask you that straight off the bat.
Here's to feeling good all the time.
There's another saying that goes like that too. Here's mud in your eye. Bang.
What do you say? What do you say?
What can I say? There's not much I can say. You know, I saw probably more effort and care in the reserves today than I did at the AFL this evening. And unfortunately for me, that's actually saying something because this was the AFL side playing at the spiritual home of the Carlton Football Club. And then you have the AFL side coming onto the home of football against a side from Horse Adelaide, of all places, who have fans that are probably more backward than Collingwood, and they give you that performance.
Yeah. It was the rise to the occasion, play against the top team, come up short, rinse and repeat. Just a lot of the same. It was a lot of the same. Do I, for the sake of trying to not be, too repetitive, like, what do we take out of it? Like, I feel like you've got to try and take something out of every game. And I know it's very close to the end of the game and we're emotional, we're angry, but like, what do we take from that? What can we take from that? Because it feels like it's the same learning or lesson that we didn't take or tried to take from the Collingwood game. It's very difficult,
Terry, I don't know, mate. I don't know where to start because, you've got hip net line on the ground, having a mud wrestling match on grass with my set. Right now, I know, I'm as angry about that as you because I think was it on the Carlton People episode that you have with me? You asked me where were the boys? Where were the boys? Because Doherty was throwing his weight around with Dustin Martin, and no one came around. Then you have Mitch McGovern, who comes in for his first game after, I don't know how long, to be quite honest, and I'm going to think about that too much. But, he's then running into the space of H, who's running the other way, and then he pulls out.
Yeah.
Now, you've actually got to try and do something with that. If you collide with your own teammate, fine, but at least try and go for the ball.
It's true. It's true, mate. Who was the best player? Who was our best player tonight for you? Who did you come away from that game saying, okay, that was him? Who was it for you?
I know I've said it before, but Walsh. At least he was actually running around and trying to make something happen. Then again, you've then got Wieders in second position for me, who, showed more heart and effort after getting pretty much knocked out and still playing after getting hit in the head.
Yeah.
Now, years ago, probably concussion rule comes into play for Wiedering, and he has to sit out for 20 minutes because, that's what it is. That's what it is around that time. Fortunately for him, he plays on, and I'm very happy to see that. But now you've got to monitor him very carefully because he still could have a delayed concussion. I refer you to Robbie Warnock in 2011.
We'll definitely need to consider that. But anyway, it is what it is, mate. We'll show up next week, do it all over again.
Yes, exactly, and get ready for Brisbane. Fortunately, it's down here because if it was up at the Gabba tonight, after the scores I saw, if it was up there, I reckon we'd be in a bit of strife. Yeah. And I'm saying that as realistically as possible.
Yeah, spot on. Good on you, mate. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers, mate, and happy birthday as well. Pity they ruined your birthday just like they ruined mine.
I'm used to it.
So am I. Unfortunately.
Andy.
Bro.
What's happening, brother?
I'm listening to everyone talking and everyone's upset, everyone's raging. But, bro, I don't think we're that good. I just don't think we're any good. I came into the season with very low expectations. Honestly, I don't see where we're going to improve. We got Saad in, good. He breaks lines. He's a good runner, but I don't rate Zach Williams. I think he's an okay footballer. He does a couple of good things, but I don't think he's worth the money we gave him. I think we need to be content with the idea that we're just going to be another Melbourne, or a Saints or North Melbourne, where we're just going to be around. I don't think we're going to get, premierships or, a long successful run. I just do not see where that's going to come from, man.
Yeah,
I don't see it.
It's an interesting one because there is the reality of where you're at, and you find out where you're at when you play against these good sides. But how do you change that? Does it start with standards or does it start with performance, then standards? How do you change it? How do you become the winning team? Look, these are questions I'm sure the board and everyone are all asking and whatnot. I mean, I was at the function tonight. Michael Judice came up and he spoke about how, we've had a positive 2 weeks and he was confident that tonight was going to be a positive night. He said it in front of the hundreds that were there, and I believed him, and I think he believed it as well. It's just, I don't know where does it change? It's the $1 million question that no one has been able to put a finger on and implement, more importantly,
I said this to you about 2 years ago on fan cams. I think it was a couple of years ago. I said something to you. There's something at the club. There's a rot. There's something at the club where it just prevents us from growing, from developing, from just being successful. I don't know what it is. We've pretty much changed everything. I don't know what's next. Do we look back and think this rebuild has not been a success? Or is it too early for that? If I had to answer it now, it's clearly not a success, man. This is 6 or 7 years in. We should be knocking at a premiership, but you watch teams like the Doggies, you watch teams like Richmond, like Port, and they're just miles ahead of us, just with the basics: kicking, marking, handballing, tackling, under 12 shit, man. It has to come from the top of the playing list. So Patrick Cripps needs to be held accountable. I understand he's been our soldier, he's been our warrior for a few years, but I think he tries to do too much, and I think he's at the point where he might even be checked out, because I saw him today. He broke a tackle and he tried to handball it. It got smothered, and there was just no effort after that. And then I think Port went down, and I think they scored. I don't know if they scored a goal, but they definitely got a score.
No, you're spot on. It happened. It happened all night. I watched it happen with him. Is it because is it because of the language we use? Like, oh, poor Cripper, he's tried so hard, he's done so much. 26 years old, mate.
100%, man.
Enough. He's not done enough.
100%, bro.
And I know I'm Mark Murphy biased, but the reality of this whole situation is Murphy would have kicked that goal. And when he was asked to kick goals from set shots as a captain, he did it. And I think the fans give Cripps too much of an easy ride and too much of an excuse, personally.
I wholeheartedly agree with you, like with all my heart. So I'm not a Mark Murphy fan. I probably haven't been for many years. But you're spot on, bro. Every time he's had the ball in his hand, 9 times out of 10, bro, he'll get the job done. Like, we need a captain's goal. Murphy, you can rely on him to kick a goal from 20 metres out, bro, especially.
Absolutely.
Like, fuck all angle. Like, come on, bro. Like, bro, Cripps, I love him, bro. I love him for everything he's done for us, but enough's enough now. Like, we can't keep giving him a pass. We just can't, man.
He's entered into big boy territory now. He's not the young kid that's trying hard, and we'll give him a bit, we're going to build around him. Because I just see this happening again. It was Murphy, young gun, and then it looks like, look, Murphy's done a lot for the club and he's coming towards the end. Then it was Cripps. It's now Walsh. Oh, young gun, captain, build around him. He's going to get to 25 and he's going to be sick of this shit, and he's going to be
100%. Bro, and would you blame him? Like, there's no way I would, like, a talent like Sam Walsh needs to be, like, protected, bro. Like, especially at his age. Like, the boys don't go in. I see him get knocked down. He gets pushed. He gets shoved, and no one really gives him a hand. But if you notice, man, if he's in the vicinity of a teammate getting hit or getting pushed, he's there, bro. He's right in the opposition's face. And he won't put up with it for much longer. Like, he just won't. A talent like that, he can't waste his talent being at Carlton, where we're just going to be mediocre forever. Like, he deserves premierships. He deserves Brownlows. He's special, bro. And I just don't think we're going to get the best out of him at Carlton. We're just not.
At the moment, it's not looking great, but
nah, it's not, man.
A week is a long time in footy. I can't wait to respond next week. Back to 4-4. Finals back on the agenda. Beat the Bombers and the Dolphins, mate. And then we're up and who knows? Honestly, who knows, bro?
Yeah, I know, bro. Let's just take it a week as it comes. But yeah, that's it. Happy birthday, bro.
Thank you very much, bro.
Enjoy your night, and nice speaking to you, bro.
Likewise, man. Have a good one.
Take care, bro.
See ya. Jad, where you at, mate? Let's talk.
Brother.
How are you?
Here we are again. Here we are again, mate. I'm sitting here in the exact same spot that I sat the first time I called into fan cams and let a rant rip. And just here we are again, mate. All right. Let's get started, eh? Can you hear me all right before I go on?
I can hear you loud and clear. I will ask for you to be as efficient as possible because there are a lot of people that want to talk, but go for it, mate.
Yeah. All good. All right. That last caller spoke about the rot, yeah? And I don't think that the issue is effort. I don't think it's effort. I think it is system. Okay, a lack of a well-structured coach system and selection philosophy. Okay, when Teague started prioritizing seniors over youth, and I sound like a broken record, but that is where it went wrong. Okay, Murphy, Betts, Casbolt, Curnow. We're not progressing with these guys in the team. We will never win these games with these guys in the team. We need more youth and exuberance and energy and just things like that, man. And that's the rot. That's the rot. They're too afraid. They're too afraid to drop these guys. They have to be dropped. Year 6 of the rebuild, we shouldn't even be talking about this. These guys shouldn't be playing. Okay, they should play when there's a role there, and that's where the rot is, mate. And I reckon we brought it on ourselves as Carlton supporters. I really reckon that. We wanted. Oh yeah, go yeah.
I was going to say, do you think had we played, the Stockers, the O'Briens, the kids, instead of the Murphys, Curnows, Bettses, and Casbolts, do you think there's almost then it becomes we're not winning games? It's sort of Bolton-ish, It was Bolton was doing it. You can argue maybe he played too many kids, but the reality was he was playing the kids, and it's kind of like now you're saying play the kids, but when we did play the kids, it was kind of like, hey, we've won 3 out of 44, whatever it was. We need to start winning games. Like it's a hard balance, man. I actually take your point on board, and like you said it a few weeks ago when you're like, come on, we've got Levi playing, and we love Levi. Don't get me wrong, love him, but let's get real. Year 6, Levi's still playing, and no one has actually overtaken him. I get your point. I just think about if there was only kids playing, where's their direction coming from? It's like a chicken and the egg. Look,
okay, I understand your point. Yeah, I understand, but that leads into my point where I think us as supporters, we did it to ourselves. We were desperate for wins. Yeah, we were desperate to just get some wins, and then Teague got us some wins, and then we wanted to make Teague the coach. But all the while, that the method and the philosophy of rebuild was abandoned, and now we're paying for it. And yes, if the kids were in places in those guys' places, I would rather lose with those kids in than lose with the seniors in, because in these losses, no lessons are going to be learned because the rot is still there. I'm telling you, man, these guys are the rot. This is the issue. Like as the other caller said, we changed everything. Everything changed in the club. But what didn't change? Murphy, Betts, Casbolt, Curnow, they're still getting games over the youth. That's what never changed. And until that safety net is gone, that is when we're going to see people stand up. Because it's all well and good to tell people to stand up, but when people have to stand up, that's when change happens. And with Teague, I really think we got the wrong man, dude, because I know it's a big call, but tactically he's inept. I don't see a system. I don't see what he's trying to do. I just think we wanted to get wins, and we took shortcuts in terms of development. And that's where it is, man. And that's the rot. I'm telling you, that's the rot. It's those blokes. And I'm not hating on them. No. Like they may have a good game here and there. They might get us a win over a lower team, like what's happened the last 2 weeks. But we're not going to take that next step until we remove the safety net and we really embrace change. And
it's going to be hard.
I know, and I don't think it's going to happen because Teague wants to keep his job, and and until someone at board level or Kane Little, whoever, says to him, "Look, we need a change in selection philosophy here. We cannot persist with this. We cannot. As long as we're like this, we're going to stay 12th to 9th. It just won't change. It just won't. And that's the rot, mate. That's what never changed in the rebuild. That's what it is. We deviated the path, and I've said this a million times, and I'm going to keep saying it until it changes. And we're paying the price for it, man. We won't win these games until something like that happens.
Yeah. No, you, as always, you always make me think. Oh, that's what I love about you. I really do appreciate you having your thoughts and expressing them as clearly as what you do. So,
thank you. Yeah. Happy birthday, by the way.
Thanks, brother. I'll speak to you soon, hey?
Easy, mate. Enjoy.
See you, bro. Let's get Paolo on.
Terry.
Paolo.
Hey, yeah.
It was a
As
daytime.
I always say, mate. As I always say, what do you say?
What do you say?
Yeah, just no flair, no edge. Just it was just flat, and we got in. I think just everything was flat. Fans were flat, players were flat. Just didn't. I don't know. It didn't feel. I didn't feel that warmth at the ground when I was there. It just didn't. I don't know.
I am worried. If I'm honest, I'm worried that tonight was a step in the wrong direction for the fans' hope. Because once you lose hope, you lose life. If you are hopeless and you have nothing to like aspire with, I just felt an energy sap, and it's almost like, and that's fair. I think Wildy put a comment up here earlier saying the players didn't kick 3 in a row to get the crowd into the game. We almost,
Correct.
you know when the crowd really gets into the game.
Yeah. Well, it was from the start. The start was really slow. Like the start was really. It was like a goal apiece in like 13, 14 minutes. So
I noticed the crowd get into the game when the umpiring was shocking. That's when you really noticed the Carlton crowd get into the game, which is a shame. You know.
Well, I did. At least my crystal ball was right. I'd say we go 2-2 and then lose to Port Adelaide. So I guess that's you can even tell my voice is gone, mate. I was fucking not ideal, but look, I think it's just a reality of where we're at, isn't it? It's not. I mean, we can, we can pop blood vessels about individuals. McGovern's not good enough, and Williams, have we ever paid for him? He's clearly. He's paid as a match winner, and I don't really think he's brought a hell of a lot to the table from that point of view so far. But it's just that the whole football club, Terry, from top to bottom, is just not good enough. Board members, coaches, players, the whole thing. Fans not demanding enough as well, and it's really just as simple as that, isn't it? It's just not good enough. What do you say? Nothing more to say. I mean, Port Adelaide tonight, their kicking efficiency was at 72%. Ours was at 57%. I mean, how are you going to win a game of football kicking the ball like that? We weren't playing in dew like we were last week. It was fucking, it's as dry as the Sahara Desert out there, and we just.
You and I were at the reserves today, so we watched the kids playing. We had 9 senior listed players play today.
Lee Stocker will play next week, mate. That's a given.
So for those of you who didn't see what happened with the reserves today, Liam Stocker was, mate. He was. You know what? Stocker made my day today. Watching him today was the highlight of my day today. He was a gazelle.
If he doesn't play next week, Jesus, there was some, right, and I know the game was sort of done there, but just go on. I think actually I'm going to try and pop it up for you. There was a thing on if you follow some guy called Will Cuxton on Twitter has put up the video of, and I went berserk when this happened. It's about maybe 7 minutes to go in the game, and Amon had the ball at halfback for Port Adelaide, and I think it was Nunes and Williamson had him cornered. They had him pocketed. And Amon's just walked through, and Williamson and Nunes are like, "Oh, has he lost about 10 lengths, Williamson? What's happened to him? Mate, what the fuck was he doing playing up at half forward? The fuck was all that about?"
Yeah, I saw that, and then McGovern went back, which kind of looked okay at times.
Look, let me tell you something with him, mate. He is. Forget him. Wasn't our worst tonight, but he's, mate. I mean, you look at the. I mean, you look back and people go, "So, oh, you got him in. You can't worry about how much you're being paid." Well, Williams is being paid. Let's just say for ballpark figure, 700 to 750 a year. You're a match winner, basically, if you're on that type of money. Hasn't won us a match this year. Cripper, he'll be asking for a big contract. Hasn't signed it yet. But he's. It's not about being so harsh on him. I know he gives his effort every week. Clearly, I mean that's a non-negotiable. But just in those moments where You need to be clean and you need to have that cool, calm, and composed head. He just doesn't have it. I mean, that set shot tonight. It's bread and butter, mate. It is bread and butter. And people go, you know, you haven't played football, you don't know. I go, but that is just, it's what they're paid to do, mate.
It's a job. Like those set shots, how do you miss them? You understand when it's on an angle or where it's maybe too far out, but that one there just sucks the life out of you, no?
Hey, mate, it is the same thing week in, week out, because I'll tell you what, you know what, we can blame all people. I mean, but just look at the leaders. The leaders are just not good enough. And everyone, mate, Liam Jones, right? Everyone was singing his praises, mate. He played on thin air for 2 weeks. He played on no one for 2 weeks, mate. And I said to you on that show on Monday a couple of weeks ago, right, when everybody was ranting and raving about him against Fremantle, the game was set up for him to play the way he did because Fremantle didn't have a real gun second forward, right? And it was the same with the Gold Coast Suns. He didn't have to be that accountable. Tonight, against a premiership contender, he had Georgiades to contend with. He had Dixon to contend with. 2 genuine tall gun forwards in the competition. And he was found wanting again because he had to be accountable. Simple as that. And, you know, and our ball movement going forward. I mean, how many times have we heard in the preseason about this mid-forward connect? Fucking doesn't exist.
It's so true.
It doesn't exist. Mate, the coaching, the assistant coaches or whatever, I don't know what's going on there. Something's got to change there. But it is the same. It's the same rhetoric and the same bullshit week in, week out when we come to these games. Is that this team and the whole football club from top to bottom is simply not good enough, and that's where we're at. That is the reality. That is the reality of where we're at. You know, and it was pretty much evident in the press conference as well this week. And, you know, the learnings and the this and the that, and, you know, we're going to compete and we're going to play our way. I still don't know what our way is. What is our way, Terry? Can someone explain to me what our way is? If you're in the comments, someone just tell me what the fuck the Carlton way is at the moment. Yeah. Is it mediocrity? Because that's what I think it is at the moment.
Yeah.
What is the Carlton way? And this is the thing, is that when it's not going your way, what are you doing? You're having blokes like McGovern and Casbolt not running back hard enough. And you'll see this. If you go on Fox Footy, it's all up there at the moment on their website. They didn't give a shit. They weren't chasing back. Nunes and Williamson with 7 minutes to go, mate. I know the game's done, but, I mean, what example does that set for everyone inside the group? You know? So, very, very disappointing night. And I don't know why. I don't know why I'm surprised. I'm not really surprised. I don't know why I'm upset or angry about it, because that's the reality, mate. So I'll save something for the Jumper Punch on Sunday or Monday. I think we're going to be recording on Monday. So very, very disappointing night. But this is the reality of where we're at. And, you know, my issue is now, I'll be quick, but my issue is now, I know we're all calling about for, you know, Cripps has got to do this and Doherty's got to do that. And he's got to – the problem is they've all hit their ceiling, Terry. There's no improvement with a lot of these guys at the moment. And that's the worry for me too. So – yeah, something's got to change, but if I could put my finger on it, I would. But yeah, disappointing night again, mate. So hopefully Stocker can get the fans back up and about. So my video for the VFL will be up tomorrow. They had a pretty disappointing loss, but I've siphoned through that, so that'll probably go up tomorrow, I'm assuming.
Yeah, no, it was good to spend the day with you, mate. We'll chat tomorrow. And,
no worries.
Go the Baggers.
Go Blues. See you guys.
See you, brother. Jordan.
Tezza, how are we?
My man, how you doing?
Not great after that one, eh?
Nah, it's not a good night, is it?
Nah. I'm on the Gold Coast, so I saw the open training session last week. And I don't know how Side even got a game last week. You saw him this week at the game, and he's not breaking the packs like last week, is he?
Yeah, he's sore, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not running like he used to. Walsh is the only one who's getting through the packs. He's the only one competing, really. You don't see it from anyone else. McGovern, you've been saying for the last 2 weeks that McGovern's been playing well in the twos, but didn't really see much of him this week.
Yeah, I mean look, he's looked fit. He did play well in the twos. He looked springy and whatnot. I think he was not our worst, not our best, somewhere in the middle tonight.
Yeah.
And I think he's at that point where he's come to the season late. It's round 5. He's playing his first game. Everyone else has played 4 games, and it kind of showed. So I would hope that he's going to get better. But am I just making excuses? Am I, it's...
Nah.
I
don't... Our injury list hasn't been great as well. I don't think our injury list has been great all year. But I don't think that's an excuse for where we're at. We've played those bottom sides and we've gotten the wins.
Yeah.
But against those top 8 sides, we're just not even close, are we?
They don't put an effort in.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to move on because we're going to get a few more. I want to sort of start powering through.
No, you're all good. Happy birthday, mate.
But, mate, thanks for coming on and thanks for waiting.
No, you're all good.
Appreciate it. See you, brother. What have we got? Mark. I think Mark's in here. Oh, wow.
Hey, Terry. Happy birthday as well.
Thank you, mate.
30. No, fucking seriously, I've had a little hiatus, which actually kept to my word, but gee, Pommy and co managed to come out from the dead. Look, let's be fair to income, right? I know everyone said the same thing over and over again. I was actually going to, I really thought about it, but look, I'll come on tonight because these are the type of games where if you want to solidify yourself as a contender and actually get the message to go in the right direction, this was a perfect opportunity. You hit 80,000 members, the first time the club ever, and more than half didn't even turn up tonight. And again, what message is that sending? Is it just more, let's pour more money into the club and make them feel good, but at the same time they just dish up that? You can talk to me, mate. I'm going to let you talk as well at the same time. I don't want to all just let it be about me, but as you were going to say,
I was your point's taken. It's I was a little bit shocked at the crowd as well, but at the same time, as I said earlier in the show, I don't blame people for saying I'm not going to games until they show me something. I don't blame them. I mean, I know of many members who sign up, pay their membership to support the club, but don't go to games because they don't trust the team. I don't blame them. I mean, I don't agree with them, but I don't blame them. And let's be honest, had 55,000 turned out tonight to see that, come on.
Again, it was a perfect Saturday night. At least it wasn't raining, that's for sure. But you just think, does the message ever get across? I mean, look, you had Jad recently on, and I tell you right now, I almost feel like you're going to have possibly, I don't know, another Carlton show. You could have JJ and Double M, Triple M, because I think what he just summed up as far as the system, the structure, the culture, mentality, it's spot on, really. I mean, you can't, again, I'll soon be hitting that age 30 as well. And you got to think to yourself as well, if we can't cut it anymore, I'll sit back and have another 5, 6 young 20-year-olds that have got the cattle to drive this club forward. I mean, this is where it's at. And you know what? You feel like it's history repeating itself, really. We're doing another quick fix. Another quick fix that we really had believed that this time around it was going to work. Oh, you there? Hello? Terry? Hello?
I'm back.
Oh, wow. Well, out of all people, you've had a blackout. Jeez, man. But no, as I was just saying before, it's like history has repeated itself. It is another quick fix. And again, I mean, from what I heard with the VFL, that was just really, really poor to be dropping that game against Southport. I mean, that's almost like EDFL like losing to Jacana, for God's sakes. That's not really good there at all. But I've got another question for you.
Yeah, let's keep it.
What do you and everybody else that's watching, because it is now the midnight hour, the midnight delight, what do we all think of Andrew Russell?
I think now is not the time to talk about it because of the emotions. I think the time to talk about it is after we've had a bit of a sleep.
Well, I'm going to say two things with that, right? Now, one, is it the players' conditioning before or after games not right? Or is there something else behind the scenes that obviously we don't know that we would like to know as far as why players who look underdone, or we tend to obviously push whoever else that needs to come in when we know that they're not ready? You know, like Casbolt's a prime example. You know, the guy obviously had been underdone before pre-season, but what do? We pick him. Mitch McGovern, he comes back in tonight, and to be fair, you know, that was, I mean, really, I looked at the ins and outs going into tonight, and you really felt that, no wonder all of a sudden money had been poured on Carlton against Port Adelaide, because the odds were really, really tight there. But I bet a lot of people would have somehow backed us tonight. But you know what? I'm lucky I still held my cards and still backed Port, because we still have so much work to do. And I mean, until we actually start proving ourselves against the very best, maybe after tonight, it could be just another break. Get some more people on to talk. Again, happy dirty 30, mate. I'll be in the same boat as you. Hopefully it's a winning one. Have a good night.
Appreciate you, mate. Thank you so much. All right, guys, we've got about 7 left. I'm going to try and get you all 2 minutes each. Let's be nice and efficient. Vinny, young Vinny, what's up?
Hey, Tim, how's it going?
Talk to me, mate. How you feeling? What's going on?
Oh, it's just all over the joint. Obviously, I'll try to make it quick. But it's... I'm just so disappointed. I had such high hopes going into tonight. Honestly, like, so much people said we were going to get done, you know, and I backed us the entire way. And, you know, we've gone and got flogged by, well, we didn't get flogged. We should have got flogged, but we didn't get flogged. And we've lost by 26 points. And it's just a leadership. Like, I don't want to be a broken record. Like, it's just a leadership. Like, honestly, Terry, I'm with you on this one. When Cripps missed that shot, I was like, that's it for us. We're going to lose this game. Not even kidding.
You just know, don't you? You know our team, you know our boys. That's how it is.
Like, you know it's bad when you're seeing your ruckman pitting a kick one from 45 out, and then the captain to step up from, I don't know what, about 25, 30 out, and just absolutely shank it. It's just not on it. It shouldn't be allowed. It's just poor.
Yeah, spot on.
And like at this point, like, I don't even know if I want Cripps at this point, because the stuff we can get back for Cripps as well, like the return would get if we traded Cripps to Freo. It's just, I don't even know. It's all over the place right now, Taz. It really is.
Let's have a sleep on it and then continue the conversation tomorrow, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, Taz. I'll let you talk to the others then.
Awesome. Vinny, thanks for coming on. Appreciate you, mate.
Happy birthday, man.
Thanks, brother. Jordan.
Hi, Tez. Oh, mate, when is this cycle going to end?
When is it going to end?
6 years into this rebuild. 6 fucking years. And it's just this toxic cycle of, you know, round one, a massive build up to Richmond, fucking honourable loss, followed by, you know, round two, we get a test and we just shit the bed. And, you know, we play 2 irrelevant teams, manage to somehow beat them. And you get another test and you just fucking shit the bed again. Like, when is it going to stop? Like, I can accept defeats there, like Port Adelaide are. If they're not the benchmark there, you know, they're up there, they're contending. So I could have taken a loss, but seriously, if Ken Hinckley gave them a plan to execute today, we couldn't have made it any easier for them to execute the game plan. Like I sat level 2 behind the goal, so I got a pretty good view of, us structurally. I'm talking like fucking players 15, 20 meters behind their fucking opponents, just ball watching. Like they could just run through the corridor, do whatever the fuck they wanted. When we attack, 9 times out of 10 when we enter, Alir and fucking Tom Clory lace out. Like it was just horrendous. And my biggest take out of this, which I can't believe it took me till this now, is that our player development is just horrendous. Like bar Sam Walsh, like who mind you is that bloke is a star. Like he is. Like there's no question between him and Cripps. Like he is our best player by the length of the Flemington. Is that probably our most consistent and best player is fucking Lockie Fogarty. And you wonder why, because he came from a fucking elite club in developing players from Geelong. And like we've got elite talent on our list, but like we just take it and just stomp on it and just like look at Dow, look at O'Brien, Samo, Cunningham, even like fucking Mitch McGovern, who we bring from Adelaide, like Setterfield, Williamson, who were probably our 2 best players last year in terms of development. They're fucking taken 10 steps backwards. Like it is just cancerous. And I just hope it doesn't get to, like Walsh, Wiedering, Harry. It is just, when is it going to end? Like, so mate, just,
it's tough.
What it is, it's just like, when is it going to end? It's just a never-ending cycle of being a Carlton fan. Like I went into today thinking, Port on demand, no fucking Dersma, no Butters at the G. We can make it a hostile environment for him.
Won a couple in a row, got some confidence up.
Yeah, and then shit the bed. They're all such teasers. Like we got the ball in good places today, and they're just like shit the bed. Like they wouldn't know what to do. Like no players leading for them. Like it was just shocking to watch. It's seriously like, I can't see us going anywhere for a while.
No, it's frustrating, mate. It is frustrating, but I appreciate you coming on and sharing your feelings.
Happy birthday for tomorrow, mate. Enjoy. Have a good one.
Man. Have a good one. Michael McDonald, thanks very much for the $5 super chat. What have I got? Adam Latrobe. No, sorry, Rocket. Hey, mate.
G'day, mate. How you going?
I'm all right. I've been better, as always.
Yeah, look, I mean, we spoke last week, didn't we? And said that, this week was the challenge, like this week was the step that we needed to take. And we failed the test. It's the 4th time in a row. I mean, look, we beat Geelong last year, but like that's one out of the box. Like these are the games that we need to be really consistently good in to prove that we've taken that next step, and we failed the test. And I was sitting there today. I couldn't believe how quiet it was in the first quarter. It was silent, and it was like the crowd was like waiting for moments. And there were a few moments at the beginning of the second quarter where they really put in, and you could feel the crowd like starting to lift. But it was like we as supporters were like waiting for that moment where we could like lift our voice and beg our players to support them. I mean, Port Adelaide, we said last week, they're a good team, and we have to bring out our best version of ourselves to tackle them. And the number of mistakes that we made in the first quarter, in the second quarter, I mean, it was like we were in a different division, truthfully. And look, we only lost by 30 points. I mean, St Kilda got smashed by 86 points last night, right? Like, so there's that. But we looked like we were in a different division, and they were so clean out of the back line. Like Alir was amazing, like just killed us. They were so clean out of the back line, and they looked like a well-coached, well-organized team. And I'm thinking to myself, are they that much better than us? Like as individuals, as a list, are they that much better than us? And the answer is no, they're not. Like, but something's missing. Like our like the last caller was saying, like our coaching, our development, and so forth. Like, something's wrong in the state of Denmark. I do genuinely think that it's time now. I think our list is a good list, and I do genuinely think that it is time to plough our list for winners. Yeah. Right? Who in our 40 players wants to win? Like, no doubt, Sam Walsh is a winner. Cottrell's come in. He's proved himself to be a winner. That was a great moment in the last quarter when he snapped that goal, like against the runner play. And, like the likes of Stocker and so forth. I think it's time. Truly, I think, I know you and I disagree on Murph, but, truthfully, I think it's time now that we say to the likes of Casbolt, we're not going to win the premiership this year.
No.
We've got a strong list. And I think it's time that we find out a little bit more about our list. And as we've said, the likes of Sydney and so forth, you give the kids their head. Let's see what they've got. And I think it's time to find out who in our list are winners. And frankly, it's time for our coaching staff to have a really good hard look at themselves. Teague and his assistants, like, you've got to bring the noise, boys. Like, we knew, Teague spoke about it this week, right? That you've got to bring the noise tonight. Like, you have got to put your best foot forward. And we were insipid in the first quarter. Like, it was embarrassingly quiet. I brought a mate from Wales to his first game at the MCG.
Wow.
Right? And I couldn't believe what that was. It was so quiet. We were running around. We were chasing. We were only a goal behind at quarter time, but it's like we had nothing to celebrate. We had nothing to barrack for. Like, Carlton Football Club, honestly, we are really ready for you to put your best foot forward, and it has to be done across the board. Across the board, from the top down. We are seeing our best 5 players are under 25. Jesus H. Christ, guys.
Any moment that they'd want to show up and actually, fulfill their potential, we're waiting.
We're waiting. Enough already.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot tell me that Port Adelaide's list is that much better than our list, but they are better coached. They have a better system. They go in hard. Like, they were so clinical. Like, when they had to go in hard, they went hard. Then they spread and they hit their targets. And, they kicked 10-4 or something, like they never missed. When the ball was in our hands, Jesus Christ, like, it was like we were in a different division. It was embarrassing to watch. Like, like the hardest part about it is knowing that we're not bringing our best version of ourselves. And what does it take? You're at home. It's a massive opportunity. Now's your time. Like, the only time we've really brought the best version of ourselves this year has been against Richmond in round 1. And even for not parts of that game. But, you can see it. We're not that far away. And this must have been what it felt like to be a Geelong supporter, right? Before they stuck with Bomber and before they had a run of success. I would like to believe that.
Yeah.
But like we said last week, you've got to show it. You've got to prove it. You've got to do it.
It's true. It's time to see it, and hopefully all we can do is it's out of our hands, it's out of our control, which makes it very hard as a supporter because you can't control the performances. So we just sit here and wait and hope that next week's a better week, don't we?
We don't play well at the MCG, and we
game.
play a lot of home games there.
Yeah, we used to. Anyway, I'm going to move on, but thanks so much for coming on. I really enjoyed what you had to say.
Yeah, you too, mate. Take care.
Have a good one. Toby.
G'day, Tez. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. Talk to me. What'd you think?
Tez, I think the problem is, mate, how many people do we have to bend over and get the footy? You tell me how many people we had tonight who would go in and win the footy for us in a Carlton jumper. Terry, mate, we say it, and I've come on to this channel and I've said it to you. But, mate, even, Terry, I've got an intellectual disability. Mate, when I go play footy, I bend over and put my head over the ball. If I can't win it, I don't say, oh no, I'll leave it up to my teammate, or I won't push across and I won't put a tackle on. Come on, Blues. Just put some pressure. Just put some ticker and show some pride in the jumper. I mean, mate, as we said last week, Tez, Murphy was quiet tonight. He was quiet. And Jones, I have not seen Jones play that bad for so many years. And I love Liam Jones. I'm a big, and always have been a big advocate for him. But if my dad was still alive, mate, he would have said, Liam Jones, get rid of him. He's a dud. But tonight, he just didn't want to rock up. I mean, mate, if you don't want to rock up, why bother playing in the AFL? Go and play in the twos. Go and show something in the twos and then get better. We're just not showing it, Tez.
Yeah. You're right, mate. Hard to disagree with anything you've just said. It's hard to ask for such effort though, because it's like it should be a given, right? Like it should be your job.
But Tez, should we be asking for more effort? Because as fans, we've seen this for years. We've seen it for years. And I mean, mate, I'm almost 32 in a month. I have waited 20 odd years for us to be good. And I'm a passionate Blues member. Passionate member. And I've signed up the last 2 years. Come on. We need to see it. Because, mate, if we show that next week, we're going to get flogged to Brisbane. And Essendon will come after us the week after. We don't want that.
No, we don't.
I mean, mate, losing to Essendon would suck.
Yeah.
It's not a good feeling. But,
yeah, it's true.
Mate, before I go, please enjoy your birthday. And please, mate, have a drink for all of us. Because, mate, this channel would not be anything without you, Pommy, the likes of Rocco. Mate, keep up the good work. Happy birthday. Mate, if I could, I would have a drink for you because I absolutely appreciate you for letting me come on and rant and rave. And, mate, you know, we lost. But, hey, there's always next week. We got to keep our heads up.
I love that.
It's just a game.
Love you, mate. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers, mate. Happy birthday again.